people that can supposed to be able to see it is people that I follow and that follow me back. But I need some help, and I need TikTok friends to kind of help me work out something, and so I can get some rest. So if anybody is in here that follows me, that likes me, that is, hey man, you're a good one. You hauling logs today? I really want to. I need some help. Well, I've went to the Bible, but this ain't really. I don't know what to do. This isn't. I've prayed, and I just. I've kind of adopted, some of what the Bible says. I forgive everybody, forgive my trespassers. But there's something pretty serious I feel that's going on, and I'm torn. I'm really really torn. And it's not the hate and the drama and the stuff like that. It's the innocent bystander aspect. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do. I don't even know if it's that big of a deal because you don't really get to see how big of an impact something's having on social media. So you kind of like, can I ask y'all? There's only two people in my life. Has anyone ran across any drama content about me directed towards me that y'all have seen? Just curious. And Log Holler knows that I've seen my. You haven't. That's okay. That's good. Is anyone else? Because there's a lot of videos right now being made about me, and they're saying that I in a live I talked about a little girl and blamed her mom for a traumatic thing that happened to her. And I haven't got along with this mom very much. We've kind of went back and forth over the years. Um, but I didn't. I actually was talking about how I don't want to get in drama. Um, but this little girl's name now is getting drugged all over the internet, and people are making videos and all. And I wasn't talking about the little girl. And if I clear the air by telling everybody who I was talking about, then it puts me in the drama. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in the drama. And all these people have just assumed this. I didn't say a name, I didn't give any details. It just matches a situation they know a little bit. And so they've ran with it, and they've just they I feel like I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. You know, Log Holler, I don't want to get no more drama, man. Since my heart and everything, assuming makes an ass out of you and me. You're exactly right. If you don't say somebody's name and you just go, "Oh, they're talking about me," there's a lot of people on the planet, you know. Um, hey, introverted EMT, I want to ask you: have you seen any negative content about me lately? Yes or no? I'm trying to judge how big this thing is. Is it that big or is it not that big? And I'm between a rock and a hard place because, like I was just telling Log Holler, a lot of I made a video that may not make sense to anyone, but I made a video about a live I did to kind of clear the air on something I said, and people took what I said and they filled in the blank and they filled it in wrong. And now this little girl's name's getting brought up all over the internet, and in my opinion, it's kind of making her re-victimized, and it wasn't her. They're so wrong, and it's hurting my heart really bad. I know you, yeah, you avoid that. I mean, I was just asking, have you seen it? Hey, good morning, Christy. It's it's the same group. So one thing I think is maybe it's just stuck in that group. You know what I mean? You've not seen anything. See, and that's what I'm trying to judge. Because here's one thing I don't want to do. All right, brother, be careful out there, okay, man. Um, be careful out there on the highway. And I needed a friend or two to talk to. I haven't been asleep all night, man. It's been not the drama. The drama's not bothering me. You know, if you know me, you know I've had my share of people that hate Tim. But when you know that they're like talking about a little kid and they're saying that that's who you were talking about, and that little kid didn't go through something bad, they went through something traumatic. You go, wow, they're re-victimizing this kid online to get back at me, and I wasn't even talking about them. But if it's not a big deal and a lot of people ain't even seeing it, then why should I worry about trying to address it, right? Yeah, Jennifer, I can't sleep. I can't sleep at all. Nope. I spent all day yesterday with my youngins. When I say my kids, most all my kids are grown. We got we got one that's probably going to be flying out the nest real soon. She's about 18, and then we got a 14-year-old who is not on social media or anything like that. We don't have young kids. I'm a pawpaw already. I got more grandbabies than I got. All my kids are grown. Um, Lily's got a few more weeks of, or a few more months of school, and then she'll be graduated. All we got is little Raymond, and like I said, he's 14, so I mean, ain't no little kids, but hung out with my girls today. They're madder than I'll get out, boy. They've seen it. Well, they've been brought into it. And they are pit bulls when it comes down to their daddy. And I was over there and I was telling them, baby, just ignore the drama. There's always going to be people that cause drama on the internet. Just ignore it. No, daddy. We love you. We were there when you got out of the hospital. We ain't going to let these people. And they ain't never listened to me when they teenagers. They dang sure ain't listened to me now that they're in their mid-20s. I swear to God, I wasn't talking about that little girl. Yeah, I went and seen him today. We played cards on the floor. What I did, let me tell you, he was taking a nap when I got there. And I went and hid in the pantry. And his mama said, go get me a water. And he come in there. And he opened the door and I handed him the water. And he said, Popo! And grabbed me. It ain't the negativity that's getting to me, guys. It ain't all the videos that I see, and I've blocked most of it. And I'll let y'all know this. I want to tell y'all this. You have to be following me, and I have to be following you back now to comment on my content. As most y'all know, I have Brugada syndrome. I have type 1 Brugada, and too much stress and harassment and stuff can trigger, and it's uh it happens quite a bit. Too much stress can trigger a cardiac event. And so I have had to lock my social media down a little bit because there is a group of people that made it clear that they wanted me to pass away. I mean, they've actually said that their goal is to put me in the grave, and they know if they push me enough that they'll do the world a favor by getting rid of me. And so, evil people, man. But I forgive them. Can I tell y'all that I forgive them? I say, Lord, please, they don't know what they're doing. They're just being silly online, doing stuff for clout and for likes and views, and they don't know me, and I forgive them, Lord. And I don't forgive them for them. I forgive them for me. I heard somebody say something one time. They said, you only have one heart, and if you ever harden it, it ain't but one, and it'll be hardened for everybody, not just your enemies. I think that's why the Lord tells us to forgive our enemies. But all I can think about is that little girl that they're talking about. And she had nothing to do with it. She wasn't who I was talking about. And then I think, well, the parents really ain't doing nothing. They're condoning it, and they're pushing the same narrative. So why should I worry about somebody else's kid if they ain't worried about it? But it's caused my heart. It's just a youngin'. Oh no, not New Salem. Lighthouse, bad. New Salem? Was it New Salem? Yeah, but I feel this is what's weighing on my heart. Tim, if you tell everybody who you were talking about, which is a pretty nasty person that ain't stopped. They've went after my little 4-year-old grandson. They've went after me. Lighthouse. It's right down from Lighthouse. I know the pastor of Lighthouse. I went to his church one time. I used to cut his grass and all. I don't want you to dislike me for this, Christy, or think any kind of way for me, but I'm very, very skeptical and funny about church. I love Jesus. I study my Bible. I teach my kids about him, and I read them Bible stories. And we were talking about Barabbas today. I was talking about that with my children. I said, I was explaining how, they allowed a horrible person like Barabbas to walk, but they crucified our beautiful Lord and Savior. Oh, I know, and I don't want you to think I wouldn't go, but I mean, we went to a church not too long ago together as a family. So every once in a while, we'll go to one to just meet other Christians and stuff. But I don't know, man. It's a lot of religious or not religious churches, but a lot of churches don't agree with everything I agree with, and they don't. There's a lot of conflict there. I'm the kind of guy that I get into the Gnostic scrolls and stuff like that. A lot of people don't like that. They think it's made up, or they think it's, I like I've talked about before, I like the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Mary and things like that. Especially since my heart event, and especially since I've seen Jesus, and I know, I mean, that video got over 2 million views. I can't tell you how many people said they have rededicated their life to God or have more peace about their dead loved ones. But in my near-death experience, he would sit outside on a tree stump. Wait, what did I miss the first part of that? Who would sit outside on a tree stump? um, I seen him, and that's another thing that's making this hard, because I can't do anything but forgive him because I've seen him, man. And it's once you've seen him, y'all. If I don't know how long all y'all follow me, but back in the day, if you said something about one of my family members, or you went after a kid or a woman online or so, I would jump all in that feet first and be all over it like white on rice. That's kind of how I do. I have a lot of one-on-one time with Jesus. See, I believe the kingdom's within all of us, because that's what Jesus said, is the kingdom's in us. And that makes so much more sense now that I had my near-death experience. And while I was unconscious, I seen him, and I seen that the kingdom's within us. It had to be within us. My spirit went right into it, you know. So I told people, I said, you know, I've always thought you go and you stand outside the pearly gates and you wait to be judged by St. Peter or for him to find you in the book of life and all. But when I went unconscious, first I seen my dead friend Larry, and then boom, Jesus was there. And behind him it was beautiful and blue, and there was clouds, and it was like a portal to our world, but a different world, if that makes sense. And it was calm, and it was peaceful, and it was warm, and it was love. And after you see something like that, it is so hard to not do exactly what he says. In my live I did that I posted the video on, if you think about it, I'm saying I got all this dirt on people, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to, because I don't know everybody's situation. And I wasn't condemning anyone. I was saying people have done stuff I don't agree with, and they've said things online that, you know, who am I to question it? Even if they're dogging me, even if they're going after me, who am I to question? That was what my live was about. I was explaining to y'all that I do see this. I do see people making fun of my medical condition, making fun of my GoFundMe page, making fun of my faith, attacking my children, attacking my grandchildren. And it hurts. I'm only flesh, and you want to respond. You want to go. You want to defend yourself. You want to defend your children and all. But once you see his face, man, you're like, you can't. I just can't. I'm between such a rock and a hard place. I don't want to do the drama. I don't want to get in the gutters. The Lord's telling me to not. I mean, he's really telling me, okay, wake up your kids for school. Hey, what's up, Dog Daddy? How you doing, brother? What do you mean a backhanded threat? Can you explain yourself? Some of it seemed like a backhanded threat, though. No hate. What do you mean a backhanded threat? What I said? Because I will say this, who I was talking about had crossed so many lines when it comes down to my family and everything, but I still didn't mention any names. Still didn't mention any details. But, you know, I mean, I don't consider it a threat. I didn't threaten anyone. I didn't say, you know, I said I don't do this, you know. But yes, I was saying I could get on their level. I could. I got look. I got so much, and it's factual. I mean, it's real. I know that one of the main people that have went after my family and everything and made all this content and just cannot quit talking about me. I know some horrible things. No, no, no. I mean, I it what I said compared to the things that they have put on the internet about me are not even comparable. And I was venting to people that I thought I could trust, my friends, and it was and you know, a lot of these people were my friends, and or I thought they were, not my friends, but just, you know, acquaintances on TikTok. But it bit me. You know, maybe I shouldn't have said all that, but I'm only flesh. You're only going to, you know, I'm a protective guy. You can't take that out of me. I'm super protective. And when I'm watching people just dog me, my family, bring up my grandson, I'm going to have feelings about that. It's 100% natural to have those feelings. I mean, it's what they're doing now. I mean, this isn't what they did. This is what they're doing right this second. It is horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. And my mom told me yesterday, she begged me, she said, "Son, please get off TikTok. Please get off TikTok." I said, "Mama, I love TikTok." I said, "It's not the app. I have so many people who love me, support me, who have helped me do wonderful things." No, 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 no. I know that, Christy. I don't think you mean any shade. I mean, I'm asking for opinions and y'all's thoughts on it. I've asked for it, so don't. If I don't understand you, I may ask what you mean, but I don't think you're. No, no hate here. No, no. I'm not upset with you. In many ways, I feel like I should have just kept those feelings to myself and let them continue to do what they did. Exactly. That's because now someone that I wasn't talking about or anything, in my opinion, is being re-victimized, and that is killing me. But like, was it you that said, or someone else that said it? I think it might have been EMT that said it. They're the ones doing it, not you, Tim. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't spend a ton of time. If you know, I don't make a whole bunch of. I mean, I make videos, but compared to what I used to do, I'll have a spat where I may make two or three, and then you won't see me for a day or two. I haven't made a video day before yesterday. I made two videos. One thing I definitely know about people that, um, cause drama and stuff like that is you're never going to change their opinion on you. Once they formulate it, once they get in that like mob mentality, you sit there and show them all the facts in the world. Once it's fun and they're getting views for hating you, they're going to keep hating you. So again, it's not that it's mainly the little girl that's bothering me more than anything, because it's just like she's an innocent bystander that wasn't it. That's the part that's bothering me. I've been through a whole lot though. Holy cow, I've been through a lot. Did he? That's cool. Yeah, she sold a bunch of them. She sold a bunch of vehicles. She's missed quite a bit of work here lately between my health and her health and everything. I was telling her the other day, man. I said, "Baby, you gotta get back in that office and start selling some cars." Luckily, her job is very forgiving, especially with everything that's going on with me and everything. But we're under so much stress, man. Everybody's like, "Go back to work. You need to be working." I can't. I'm still under doctor restrictions to a certain degree. They just now released me from some light recreational activity and light exercise. I passed out yesterday getting out of the bed at about 10 o'clock, face planted right into the damn floor. And then today, when I was at my daughter, she has a 2-story house, and I went upstairs to see my grandson, and I'm damn if I didn't fall out by the time I made it to the top of the stairs. My blood pressure, I used to suffer from hypertension. Now my blood pressure is too low all the time, and it's causing a lot of syncope. And in between, it's crazy, man. It's funny how fast you can go downhill. So, Christy, do you think I should just keep avoiding it and protect my peace? And that's what I've done. Like, for right now, the only people that can come in my life is people that I follow and that follow me back. I got it where if I don't follow you back, you can't comment. So, you ain't got to worry about all them people that don't know you coming and airing their opinion about you. But do you think I should really just let it go? Or do you think I should clear the air to clear that kid's name? What's up, cardiac alarm? I don't know who you are. I don't even know what a cardiac alarm is, but I noticed you followed me and I followed you back. I follow about anything that's cardiac nowadays. Got a friend of mine off TikTok. He's followed me for years. He's taken me fishing on Lake Oconee this Sunday. I gotta be there before daybreak, and I do. Um, and I was explaining to him how I have an ICD, and if it goes off, he needs to just take me back to the boat ramp. He needs to call an ambulance, and he said, "Well, man, can you? He's got a nice bass boat. I mean, a nice. He fishes tournaments. Catches big fish, and he knows what I'm going through health wise, and just an awesome guy. He's like, man, I want to take you fishing, help clear your mind and everything. He said, can you stand up all day on the bass boat? And I said, unfortunately, man, probably not. I'm probably gonna get fatigued and have to sit down some. We also got to worry about syncope, me passing out and things like that. He said, man, I got a chair then. He said, I got a seat that I can bring on the boat. I just didn't want to bring it unless you definitely needed it. And I said, yeah, we're probably going to have to bring it. Yeah, he said that he's very keen in it. His father had a major heart attack on the boat with him, and they had to airlift him from the boat ramp. But I told the guy everything he needed to know. I told him that if for some reason there is an incident where my ICD goes off, that and he's calling the ambulance and all that. And he's so nice to not only want to take me out fishing, but he said he'd make sure that if anything happened, I was well took care of and I had the help I needed. Um, oh man, I hate to hear that. Heart attacks are not fun, man. Mine's electrical. Mine's not even like a blocked, artery or messed up valves or anything. It's electrical. So mainly my cardiologist is an electrophysiologist. I have a team of 3 of them actually because of my condition so rare and everything. They're all over it. I'm waiting on the gene test to get to the house, so they want me to do a mouth swab to figure out what gene of Brugada I have so they can easily pinpoint it in all my family. They think that's going to be the easiest way to check like my kids and my grandkids and all. Each one of those gene tests though is like $1,200 and I'm like, holy cow, man. Insurance covers it, but you got to get insurance first. That's something, man. I hate that. No, I've had Brugada probably my entire life, and it's been masked and misdiagnosed. If you research Brugada, it masks itself. It's one of the hardest things to diagnose, and people keep saying, "Well, how did they diagnose you?" I had been running a fever, and a fever unmasks it. So I had ran a fever right up to the time that I was having my issues, and it just so happened. Somebody told April today in a comment that I deserve everything I'm going through. That karma's you know what, which I think's ludicrous. But really, I'm blessed because do you know how many people You don't find out that they had Brugada until after they die from it. I mean, it's that hard to find. So the fact that it showed up on the EKG, it showed up on a ECG. Um, I seen you. Hi, I'm Demir. My brother Jade, cardiac arrest due to Brugada syndrome in his sleep. Yep, that's how it happens. It usually happens when you're asleep or in a resting state. Man, he's so lucky. I don't know why it's filtering your comments, but I'm unfiltering them. I don't know why it keeps filtering your comments, bud. Yeah, well, I can't run a fever. A fever is a big no-no. Like, I got sick again after I got out of the hospital with the flu, and that's one of the things that put me back in the hospital, caused syncope and all that. I have type 1 Brugada, so it causes me to pass out. And, I've been having these little pass out episodes for the last few years that I didn't understand. They don't last very long, they only last for a few seconds. Pretty much, you pass out, and all the blood that wasn't going to your brain goes back to your brain, and you wake back up. Um, Very scary. Very scary. Sometimes some of them are worse than others. Some of them I get extremely pale, gray, shallow breaths. That's what happened to in front of April at the Walmart. Scared her to death. She thought I was dying, um, and that's when I had my divine vision, if you will. Um, it's been a big life changer for sure. I, the anxiety of an ICD, I can't even tell you all about that. That is anybody who says I got ICD ain't no big deal. They are full of crap. I have not talked to one person that showed me their scar that didn't tell me their ICD messes with them mentally really, really bad. I mean, it's not just a pacemaker. It depends. Each person's different. Steel is tender. Looks real good though. If y'all remember, people thought I had an infection in there, and I didn't. My body, for the most part, heals really good. Um, I mean, I'll show you my incision now. Look at this. You can barely see it. It's just a light pink line. There's still a little bruising. Um, but life changing for real. All the things, all the restrictions. Y'all know me. I've always ran heavy equipment and been a landscaper outside in the heat and the elements. Ran a sawmill, operated tractors, worked on my vehicles, did all that, and pretty much all of that stuff's cut out now, and that it sucks so bad. Um, it sucks so bad. Makes you feel useless, man. I like get an office job. I'm like, I don't even know how to turn a computer on. Seriously, I mean, my computer's usually, it's got dust on it. I can't remember the last time I opened my Apple laptop. I mean, my phone, but I'm not that great on it. Y'all don't see no great edited videos and stuff. I am not a tech savvy guy. Really, that's what I was wondering when you followed me. I mean, if you want to, you can send me a DM on it, and maybe I'll check it out. And if it's something I can help, if it's a product that I think is real helpful. I don't have an iWatch, but I do have a smartwatch. Um, I'd be. That sounds pretty cool. Do you mind reaching out to me, because we follow each other, and kind of telling me a little bit more about it, telling me where I can find it and all? I mean, I'm not trying to necessarily. 'Cause I'll have to look into it. I'm one of these guys that take my time. I don't just jump on everything, but like I said, if it's good and with my condition, maybe I can help spread the word about it. I have a friend, and Raleigh OK, that has a mental health app, and I kind of helped her. I don't know how good it'll do, but I'll tell people about it. If you want, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'll make that off, just because it kind of fits my situation a little bit. Because that's the weird thing. My heart rate can drop real low, or I can go into tachycardia. It's weird how it does. My I don't have an Apple Watch. Dang it. Oh man. Yeah, I have a smartwatch, but it's like a different brand. It's not Apple. My wife has an Apple Watch though. So maybe she could try it on hers or something, and um, I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's what I think I seen in your video. I think you had one or two videos when I checked you out. I mainly followed you because of your name, though, and I was like, I got cardiac problems. Might as well follow this guy. Let's see what it's about. Um, yeah, you're absolutely right. I have no idea why it's still filtering every one of your comments. You haven't said anything. Why is it filtering your comments? Jeez, man. So you have Brugada syndrome too. Wow, yeah. I've only met 3 people on the app personally that's had it. All of them. Do y'all have? Well, see, type two. With type two, do y'all have ICDs? Do they recommend ICDs for you guys? Because I know you have type 1, 2, 3, and I think there's a fourth too. But I know not everyone needs an ICD. Some people are asymptomatic and things like that. It's really based on what's up, man. What are you doing? Roast your tater. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to my new way of doing lives from here on out. I'll just go ahead and bring you up to speed. I've kind of had to lock down my social media a little bit because of a bunch of people trying to cause trouble with me, and because of my heart issue. I don't think I did see it. Because of my heart issue, I can't get upset. If you get it, I have an Apple Watch I have not used in a few years. You can have. Oh, that's sweet of you. You don't have to do that. So just to protect my peace. It's not that I'm afraid. It's not. It's just the comments. Some of the comments were getting me upset, and not like get my heart rate up and stuff like that. Even though I was like, I'm fine. It ain't bothering me. It was bothering me, and so I made the decision. My mom wanted me to leave the app. She was in tears. She said, "Son, I've watched them, mistreat you so much." And oh, I know. So what I'm doing is, so you can comment on my videos if we follow each other, and I'll add a lot more followers. I just got to really vet it. I got to make sure all the crazy people are don't have access to me. But I don't want to leave you guys like Roasted Tater, Jason Crawley, Christy, and Birded EMT or whatever their name is. I like you guys. I like all y'all. There's a lot of good people that follow me that aren't about the drama, and y'all enjoy my content. I see y'all sometimes and enjoy it, and yeah, I have a lot of fear and anxiety and stuff, and man, I know you haven't known me that long on here, but I do a lot to help people before my heart, and I've worked all these hurricanes and used my platform to boots on the ground, not just raise money and stuff, like go down and actually help, and But there's some people out there that just that don't like me. They probably don't like their own self, but they're very hard. You know, they hit below the belt and stuff, and so I just separate. You know what I mean? I just cut them off. You know what I mean? And I know what the block button is, but um, I had a decision to make: either leave the app. And a lot of my friends said, "Don't you dare leave this app. We love you, Tim. We love." Um, I know you have, buddy. Good morning, Tracy. They were like, "Don't you let these people run you off this app. You're a good guy." And we just made the decision. Well, I do have a heart problem. Like, okay, if if I know that stress, anxiety, harassment, all that can affect me, it can trigger a cardiac event, then shouldn't I take responsibility for that and do everything I can do to protect my peace? And so that's what I chose to do. So no more like lives where just everybody and their brother can come in it. No more just anybody and their brother can comment on my videos. Tim's going to protect his peace while still trying to enjoy the good-hearted people that have always been nice to me and not brought any drama into my life. And that's how we're going to do it from here on out. It's sad it's got to be like that. I like that. I like meeting new people and new people coming in and all, but I have no other choice but to protect myself. How we talked about it today at my family. I love going to my grown kids' house. Ain't you proud when you go to your grown kids' house? My youngest biological daughter, who is only 22, has a nice 2-story house, brand new cars in the driveway. They own 2 businesses right now. I'm so proud of her. She is a good mama. And my oldest daughter is working her rear end off. Her husband works a lot. They just got them a new house, so they're both doing good. Matter of fact, my oldest said, "I notice you keep talking about my sister's 2-story house. My house may be 2-story, but you haven't even come and visited me yet." She lives a lot further than her baby sister. Her baby sister lives right up the road, and she lives 2 counties away. So, but I do need to get down there and see her house. Um, but yeah, I just need to protect my peace, guys. I get upset even when I don't want to get upset. They were leaving. And I left one of them. If you go back to my video that I made when me and April were doing the little competition with each other for me to get the life vest to see if we could get Walmart to comment. Someone put a SpongeBob and a Patrick with a coffin open and said, "Get in." And I thought they were joking. I was like, "You first," and they were like, "No, seriously, it's built for you." And others were leaving comments like, "Why don't you die already? What's it going to take to put you in a grave?" It's absolutely. My cardiologist told me to avoid the stress. He said that they're so worried about my stress that my cardiologist prescribed me Ativan as needed. I mean, they do not want me getting stressed out. And when you have mean people on the internet, which you're always going to have, going, "We're trying to kill you. We're trying to see if we can make you have a heart attack." You got to cut them people off. You got to nip it in the bud, as Barney Fife would say. You can't, because they're going to say anything they can to try to trigger you. And even if I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine," and it does get to me, and I have a cardiac event, I could have done something about it, and so I decided to do something about it. I mean, it's just, me and my kids were talking about it. I was like, it's like, so look at social media like this. There's bad people in the world, right? It's not a fear thing. It's not a chicken thing. It's, would you leave your doors unlocked and put a sign in front of your house that says, "I have a lot of valuables in here, but I ain't afraid of anybody"? Of course not. Of course you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't put a sign in front of your house, and you would lock your doors at nighttime, unless you live in a very, 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 very safe area. That's all I've done. I'm locking my doors, and I'm choosing to not put a sign outside. And I'm letting them do whatever they want to do. Yeah, we won't have no 70 or 80 people probably in the lives, but we don't need that anyway. Usually when you get that, that's when trouble happens. When you have 100 people in your live, that's when somebody is going to cause some trouble, whether they do it in the live or they screen record it and try to use something you said or whatever. So it's just going to be me and my follow for follows. And I'm probably going to make a video today that tells everyone that, only followers that follow me and I follow them back can comment. So, if you're one of those people who are really a fan that likes to talk to me and stuff, you need to send me a DM and let me vet you real good before I follow you back. But oh, you're fine. You're fine. I drink so much water now, it's ridiculous. Which water's good for you. You're made up primarily of water, so you need to keep it in you. But April introduced me to a guy in a live today that she's been watching for a while, and he makes ocean art. He makes like fish and whales and stuff like that, and he talks just like Tom Hanks. And my wife was like, "Oh my God, this guy's live. You got to see him. He's an older guy." And the first thing she said, she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, April." And I said, "Wow, he does sound like it." She says, No. Watch this. "There's a snake in my boots." And as soon as she typed that in, he said, "There's a snake in my boots. Somebody poisoned the water hole. Buzz, this town ain't big enough for the two of them." And he just goes into a full Tom Hanks and sounds just like him, man. I was laughing so hard. And then he did Forrest Gump. I was like, my goodness, this guy could voice over for Tom Hanks. He sounds just like him. And it was pretty interesting. It was funny. I got a kick out of it. I really did. Oh, man. And now I'm starting to yawn, so I'm finally getting tired. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, so that means I'll sleep till, 1 o'clock? 12 o'clock? My sleep schedule's so messed up. I know everyone that's come in this live so far has said, "Man, we ain't saying nothing about you." And I don't know if y'all just saying that because y'all are nice or because you ain't seen nothing, but that makes me feel a little bit better. And everybody's saying ignore it. When you see it, can you share some advice Carters have given you? Can you share some advice, Carter? Yes. One, avoid fever. If you get a fever, you need to take something to control the fever. You don't need to get a fever over, I forgot the Celsius, but it's like, you don't want to run a fever over 100.4. Oh, thank you for the gift. Stress, you have to manage your stress. You have to manage your stress. The ICD was a big thing for me. They grilled me on I needed this ICD really bad. I actually didn't want to get it in the beginning, and they were like, "We can't guarantee you won't die tomorrow if you don't get it." I'm trying to think of some other stuff, but I'm so tired. Genealogy tests. If you can swab your mouth and do a gene test, that's a really good idea. Yes, avoid alcohol, drugs. Thank you. See, I know I was forgetting stuff. Alcohol and drugs can trigger it. A lot of medications can trigger it. There's actually a Brugada medication list. So you need to avoid all illicit drugs, cannabis, all that stuff. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need to drink alcohol. All those things are things that can trigger your Brugada. But you also need to be very careful For example, I have PTSD. I'm treated PTSD clinically from being a first responder. Now they're telling me, on top of having PTSD from being a first responder, I also have medical PTSD now from everything I went through now, because how much I worry about this ICD. I worry about it a lot that I ain't telling y'all about. And you cannot, I can't, you can't take any antidepressants whatsoever. The only thing safe to control anxiety with people with Brugada syndrome, according to my cardiologist, is something like Ativan. And then you have to be careful with it. You can't take it daily because it can be habit forming. You know, it's a benzodiazepine, so you got to be real careful with it that you don't become dependent on it. So, you know, I only take it when I'm really upset. You know, if something's triggered me and I'm going to therapy. Therapy ain't working that great, to be honest. But you gotta watch medications. Anything that affects the sodium channels in your heart is a big no-no. You want to stay away from them. So any medications that your doctors try to prescribe you or anything, you need to make sure that they are not on the Brugada list. So that is a huge thing. Of course, they went over all the ICD do's and don'ts. You want to stay away from big electromagnetic pulses. When you go through the airport, you want to flash your card to TSA, show them that you have a implanted defibrillator. That way they can wand. You're not supposed to wand over the defibrillator. Some walk through metal detectors are okay, but they really just prefer you to avoid them if you can. Stay away from ignitions. Anything that puts off a strong electromagnetic pulse with the ICD, you know, so you don't want to be leaned over a car that has an ignition system and the car running, because it can affect the ICD. You can actually get an unwanted shock. Vibrations. Running a chainsaw is a no-no, because you hold a chainsaw, you know, and the vibrations go up your arms and into your body, and it can make your ICD think that that's your heart rate and you're in tachycardia, and it can give you an unneeded shock. And you really want to avoid an unneeded shock. They don't happen a lot, but if they do happen, it's very traumatic. It hurts. It'll make you want to get the thing took out. Will it ever have to be replaced? Yes, mine will have to be replaced between 10 to 15 years, 12 to 15 years is the life expectancy of my particular ICD, and I have a Boston Scientific. Another cool thing about it is not only will it give me a shock if my heart reaches over 200 beats a minute and I'm in full tachycardia. Right before my heart stops, it'll shock my heart back into a normal sinus. Another thing it does is it paces. So if my heart rate drops or becomes too erratic, it will give me little micro shocks that I can barely feel to pace my heart. Let's see, it's going to make me do this. So, with my syncope, you know, I have to watch, I have to monitor. They want you to, anytime you pass out, to come and have an interrogation of your ICD. I've did that twice. I'm not going to do it every time I pass out. It's got to be a bad event. If I turn pale, if it takes a long time to wake me up, something like that, then I'll do it. But I've passed out probably 15 times since I've been out of the hospital, so I am not going to the hospital every time I pass out. That's just not going to happen. I have a Boston Scientific, what's it called? A Latitude that sits next to my bed that constantly communicates with my ICD and sends reports to the doctor, but the doctor doesn't see those reports. But like every 2 weeks, they get a report sent to him what my ICD's been doing. Every 6 months, I have to go in and see a Boston Scientific tech who does a full device check. They'll actually speed your heart up. Yes, I've been passing out not a whole bunch, but quite a few times. Some of them are bad, some of them are not. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard the story, but one time a good friend of mine who's like my sister on this app named Shelby, me and her were flying out to Washington for Thanksgiving to meet April. We met in the Delta Sky Lounge because we were sharing a flight, and we were going to have some orange juice and a light breakfast and all before we got on the airplane. I passed out for no reason, just boom, was out. They actually woke me up thinking that I had diabetes. And I was like, oh my God, I got, because like there was some off-duty nurses there, and they brought me to by like putting sugar packets in my mouth. It wasn't the sugar packets and all. What brought me to, here's how the doctor explained it. What happens is, when my blood pressure drops or my heart rate drops, it has a hard time pumping blood to my head, okay, to my brain. And your blood starts pooling in the lower half of your body. When I pass out, once I go down and my head's level with the rest of my body at the ground, the blood actually flows back to the brain and I wake back up again. It's nuts. I can't stand it. It is the biggest headache. And so we're assuming that even then that was probably brought on by the Brugada syndrome. Um, and I was sitting down on that one and I just fell out the bar stool. I mean, just it scared Shelby to death. It scared everybody. They weren't going to let me fly, but I pitched a fit. I was like, my wife, everybody's in Washington. No, it wasn't during hurricane relief. This was during Thanksgiving holidays years ago. I mean, it's been since me and April's been together. But they were like, we're not going to let you get on the airplane. You need to call an ambulance. And I was like, please, please, please. I'll go to the hospital when I get in Washington. They were like, no, no. I said, what will it take? Please. I got to go to, none of my family's here. If they put me in the hospital or something here, there's no one here. All my family's out there. I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. And they said, here's the deal. If you can walk down the jetway by yourself without a wheelchair, we'll let you fly. It took every ounce of energy I had. I walked down that jetway. I sat in that first class seat in that Delta airplane. You know, it's the little cubby that turns into a bed and everything. And I tried to go to sleep, and the flight attendant woke me up. She said, I'm sorry, sir, you can't lay down until the plane takes off. But as soon as that plane got airborne, I slept all the way to Washington and still didn't go to the doctor because I was hard-headed as hell then. I used to avoid the doctors like the plague, and it's funny, you know, to be a guy that was in emergency services and all. I don't know why I'd avoid the doctor, but you know, I definitely, yeah, fancy first class. Oh, that's the way to go across the country. It ain't always the way I go across the country, but it's nice if you can. You can lay that seat all the way back. They brought me smoked salmon and capers. It was really nice. I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna fly like Coach, and my friend Shelby, she was like, "No, I'm gonna upgrade us. I got some Delta points. I'll upgrade us both to first class." So it wasn't because I wanted to. It was because she was like, "I got points with Delta, and I'm gonna upgrade us." And I was like, "That is so cool. Let's do it." So she's a sweetheart. I loved her. I love her and her late husband so much. I named my barn, or I dedicated my barn after her late husband. He's such a good dude. They came to my shows back when I was touring with the guys and all, big fans of mine. When all that crap happened in North Carolina with my construction company and all, the husband was going to have me come up and do a bunch of work for him to help me out. And then he passed away unexpectedly. Real said, you never know when you're going to go. It's crazy. It really is. You never know when your time's up. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. I'm tired. Finally. I'm getting sleepy. How are you doing, Kim? I'm about to. I'm about to. Yeah, I think we will. She's off today. Oh, heck. I feel like she only works the end of the week and the weekend here lately. I'm definitely. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody's awake now. I haven't been asleep all night, so I've been up all night. Haven't been live all night. I don't know if you know this, but I've locked down my account. If you're not a follower and I don't follow you back, you can't comment, and only followers that I follow back um, can come in my lives now. That's for my protection and my peace of mind, and I cannot get upset at all. I can't, and there's folks right now trying to upset me. So the only way I can stay on TikTok is to lock it down and protect my peace. My mental health, it ain't messing with my mental health that much, but if you get me all excited and all my heart rate gets up, you trigger a cardiac episode, and it's a well reported thing that anxiety uh, you you've been seeing the videos. Yeah, I asked when I first went live how many people have seen the videos, and so far everybody's saying they haven't seen any. You're the first one that said you have. And that's one of the reasons when I went live, I was like, y'all, I feel so horrible because someone is being brought up that I really wasn't talking about. And because of the person's name being put in videos and all, it's eating me up. And, it makes me want to go and reveal who I was talking about. You probably know who I was talking about, uh, Sarah Beth, and maybe you don't. You probably wouldn't have to try very hard to know who I was talking about, but it was not the person that they're accusing me of talking about. I wasn't talking about anybody, actually. I said, I'm not naming names. I know stuff about people, and I'm not going to, use it and all that. And yeah, it's been bad, man. I can't tell you how many death threats I've received yesterday. People are telling me I need to just go in and crawl in a coffin. They're going to do everything they can to make me have a heart attack. I mean, it was getting pretty bad. And I said, you know what? We're not doing this. We're not doing this one bit. Not to a bunch of strangers that I don't know online that are just trying to, you know. Yeah, I didn't. I thought I was talking to people in a live that were, TikTok friends of mine. I was talking about Brigada, kind of like I've been doing tonight, and then I talked about how some people were making a lot of videos and all trying to upset me. And then I made a comment, that I don't think it's right to do this, and people have done this, but I'm not going to be a judge of it or hold them accountable. And I posted a video of that clip of my live, and everybody took it and just filled in the blanks. They said, "Oh, you're talking about this person and her daughter." I wasn't. You know, I you could say, well, the situation is similar. Well, it could be similar with 20 freaking people I know online. But I was talking about someone, the same person, but this person has been going after my family, me, my wife. They've brought my grandchild up. They've teamed up with, my wife's, I'm going to just say bipolar sister, hates you one minute, loves you the next. And they were just causing a lot of stuff, but it was not that woman or her baby that everyone's saying it was. I was not talking about, I would never, ever, ever talk about a child online that something like that happened to. Never, ever, ever. No, I agree. I mean, and they used mine, and I did say something about them with their child and all, but it wasn't the person they're saying it was. It was a person that raised money for a court thing and all, but it wasn't what they're saying. It was the one person I was talking about. And that person had hit a nerve from coming after my family, and I didn't go in any detail. I didn't name their name or anything. But boy, they took that and they went to someone else and they said, he's talking about you. So what they did, they took the clip of the live and they cut it down to when I was mentioning, your child, a child, and all this. And all I said was, if something bad happens to a child, or if something horrible happens to a child and you talk about it online and all, that's all I said. I didn't blame anybody. I said under your care, because this situation I was talking about, it was under the parent's care. The parent was very involved with it, right? And it was the parent that was going after me every day. They love talking about my family and all. And, I was just venting without talking about the person. And what they did was they said, you know what? You're talking about these people. And all hell broke loose. And then I was like, shit, maybe I should just tell everybody who I was talking about. And that way, first of all, everybody's going to feel stupid. But then that puts me in the drama. And I have to stay out of the drama. So at this point, I'm like, forget it, man. Just one thing I thought about tonight is, if the parents that know I didn't mention anyone's name, because that's what's got me upset so bad, is the little girl's name that they keep using in their videos. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. Y'all are wrong. I'm not talking about them. That's not who I'm talking about. Was I talking about somebody? Yes. But it wasn't them. Y'all are so freaking wrong. Don't assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me. You know what I'm saying? And it is tormenting me that she's like an innocent bystander. And they are the ones that made her that. Not me. They are. But it makes me want to go, guys, this is who I was talking about. This is the situation I was talking about. But as soon as I do that, now I'm in the drama. Now it's on like a chicken bone, because now I'm telling somebody else's tea, like they're trying to spill the tea on me, if you will. And all I'll say is, the person I was talking about's name doesn't start with an N. It starts with a P. And I don't want to, man. Especially after my near-death experience and the heart attack and all. I don't want to be in the drama, man. I ain't interested, man. I was attacked the whole time I was in the hospital. When I got out of the hospital, I kept having to block people and all that was using that. And it's just like... And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I said some things in a live to just vent to people without naming any kind of names. And it just made it even bigger. Which is TikTok for you. People see stuff. They put their own narrative to it. They twist it up. And they run with it. And it's just, oh well, bro. You're just going to have to deal with it. But what they're saying, I was saying, for one, you can see I didn't say anything. It involves SA and all kinds of stuff. I didn't mention anything about SA. I wasn't talking about anybody that had been SA'd. But that's what they say I was talking about. They just, that's who he had to be talking about. And I don't know how they got it from that, other than something horrible happening to a child. I mean, it's... And I sit and go, my God, they are plastering this little girl's name all over the internet. How much harm is that causing? Oh, I mean, I try to avoid it too. They always are going after me. They always are. That's what I did. I blocked. No. And I put my statement up, and everyone that's watched it, other than those people that are just have made the narrative up in their brain, everyone that follows me that stays out of the drama is like, we have no idea who you're talking about. So if we have no idea who you're talking about, how in the hell did they have any idea who you're talking about? Because you didn't name a name, you didn't name any details. You really, it was so vague. It could be anybody. And boy, did it. But it's the same group. You know what I mean? It ain't new people. It's the same old. All it takes is one person saying something, and it's funny how, dude, everybody just jumps on it. Everybody. I had people unfollow me and block me that I have never had a problem with a day in my life that have my wife and my phone number. They didn't even call to ask me who I was talking about before. They ran with the masses too. I ain't never seen so many sheep. No free thinking, no critical thinking at all. At all. They just, oops, somebody said Tim said this, so dang it, that's what we're going to run with. It's, pick me individuals. Oh, I'm going to jump on it too. I'm going to jump on it too. I'm going to jump on it too. Now I'm going to make up something. I've been on this app since 2018. Sometimes I say 2019, but since 2018 I've been on this app. Man, I have a digital footprint. It is definitely high school drama. I know, man. Um, they took videos from back when I was working up in North Carolina, like when I first met April, and tried to make. There's one of them where I was. If anybody remembers me back then, all the guys got together and they helped me out and all. They helped me get an attorney to go after the company that was messing me over. And I got an attorney, and I wound up settling, and because this thing lasted for like 3 or 4 years. But in the live, I'm saying, I probably would have been better off to take that money and pay the company's debt off than hire the attorney. Well, they're saying that I'm talking about stealing hurricane money, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not even the same thing. It's not even so. I don't want to engage with it. I've blocked most of it. I'm pulling teeth with my girls. My girls are after and they were telling me today that they were like, Dad, they're saying that you got your minor kids on TikTok defending you, and we're in our mid-20s. We just don't want them talking about our daddy. We're sick of this. Like you're sick. We don't want them going after you. And I'm like, babies, please ignore it. And they were like, no, if we're going to defend our daddy, they want to harass you, we harass them. They used the girls. They were like, oh, well, the girls don't like Tim. And facts one. Random bullshit is definitely more scandalous. What's going on, my damn near neighbor? I'm just tired of drama. I don't want to do drama. I just don't want to do it. I really don't, man. I promise I don't. But it is, man. It's so much easier to build a narrative and paint a picture that ain't real and watch 30 people jump on the bandwagon. No. I'm not saying. But if you do see something, you know what I would do? I ain't trying to tell nobody what to do or nothing, but what I would do is if you like my content and you know I'm a good person and you see these people who are just dogging and twisting narrative and using any little thing they can, and y'all got block buttons too. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to see that crap. You don't have to tolerate that crap. You don't have to respond or anything else, but do you want to see that crap? I mean, if that's your cup of tea, go for it. But it really bothered me to see some of the people who jumped on it, though. That did bother me. I got a lady that I like a whole lot. It's just BS. It's actually a lot of deflection, if you want to know the truth. That's what I was trying to say nonchalantly in my live that night. Was it's a lot of deflection, guys. I don't want to get in the dirt, and I don't want to tell y'all all the bad things, but I could tell y'all some stuff that you would go, what in the world? Straight from the horse's mouth, man. But I don't want to, man. Well, they're talking about you, and they. Me too. Like I said, one of the reasons I followed you back immediately, man, is because I've seen you before, and I knew I've tried to follow back a lot of people last night before I locked down the account. And that way we could communicate. You could leave comments and stuff like that. And I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to get um, people that I know that are decent, that have never caused me any trouble, followed back. But we're just going to do, the only people that'll see my content, well, everybody can see my content, but the only way you're going to comment is if I've kind of vetted you and I know you're not about drama. And if I accidentally let somebody in that is about the drama, I get rid of them real quick. So, the only way you can comment on my videos is if we follow each other. The only way you're going to be able to come in my live is if we follow each other. There's just no more open to the public crap. I mean, my, I have too much to lose, man. You get me upset and I have a cardiac event, man. And you know what? April could take all the hate that she knows and all the videos and all the death threats to a DA, and there is a high chance that even though it is involuntary manslaughter, it'd be hard to prosecute. Because what if he just had the heart attack for no reason? So I lock your doors. You know what I mean? Don't let the yahoos in. It's that simple. I can control what I see and what I don't see on this app. And then I think about it. One of the things that made me think about it, the reason I'm not bothered by the hate, if you will. I know of the lieutenant governor of Georgia pretty well, and I watched this show called The Pit. Have y'all ever watched The Pit? Me and my wife like watching it before bed, and it's about a Pittsburgh emergency department. It's very, very, very spot on. Like it is, it is ER on steroids. It's very intriguing. It's not got like a lot of BS drama. It's just straight medical. Like we enjoy it. And every other commercials talking about the lieutenant governor stealing money and all this stuff. And I'm like, politicians get it. They make commercials about them. Everybody sees it. Think about all the politicians that people go after and the things that they make up about them, and are the celebrities that they start scandals about, and everybody believes it and they all run with it. I mean, it happens to everybody. Yeah, The Pit is good. I recommend it. I'm not a huge TV guy, but I like The Pit. I've enjoyed it. I really have. But I honestly think that the people that follow me back and that I follow them and they don't go nowhere and they don't get in the drama have paid a little bit of attention. They've seen the stuff I've done. They've figured out my character. And, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm probably going to go lay down here in a few minutes. Like I said, when I finish this bottle of water, I'm probably going to go to bed. I thought I'm yawning. Yep, see? I wish I had a choice. The old Tim would love it. He would jump feet first into it. But I've had a lot happen over the last 2 months that just, it ain't going to happen. Sorry, guys. I know I keep yawning, and that's probably contagious. You wanna? No, Tim, don't do that. I just had a funny thought though. I ought to make a TikTok when I get off this live talking about how much fun we had talking about everything and how I enjoyed everybody coming in and talking and everything, and it will drive some people absolutely crazy. They'll be like, "No, Tim, there's no reason to." I think it was funny anyway. Got some fishing content maybe coming Sunday. Maybe I'll make content. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just fish. Hoping to catch my personal best. I know it would be, right? Wow, what an amazing live. So many people in it and everything. And them jokers would shit a brick that they couldn't come in and screen record because they just know that I was saying something. Yep. A pro, what I consider a pro bass fisherman's taking me out. Really nice bass boat and all. From right here on TikTok. His whole platform's pretty much him fishing. I'm talking about catching big bass. So maybe with him I'll catch my personal best. I'm hoping. I hate that. And I'm going to make all y'all fall asleep from yawning. I know, you know what I'm saying? I may do that. I mean, it's my platform. You know what? And announce every time I do go live. Be like, I'm going live at this time. If you want to come join. Oh, did I mention it's followers only? Or follow for follow only? That's so rage baiting. Watch me not catch nothing and he catch all the fish and I look like an idiot. I'm hoping he'll share technique with me. You know, if he is slaying them, I hope he'll be like, oh no, you need to switch over to this and you need to do this. Who knows? I'm not going to react. You see any of it, and you'd probably say, "Ooh, Tim's going to jump all over that." Nope. I'm just not interested. But man, I just thought I was getting ready to die. I had a near-death experience. Seen my maker. Seen my late friend. Seen a little slither of heaven. Life is too short. It is just TikTok. Them people can talk about me till the tongue falls off. And guess what ain't going to happen? Nothing in the real world. Nothing. Nothing. So, I don't care. I can say I never went to Florida. There's hundreds of people that know I did. They can say whatever they want to. They can make up all the people in the world that they say I'm talking about. Alright, well, I think I'm about done. Oh. I like TikTok. I enjoy it, but it ain't that important. Alright, I'm going to go get me some rest. I appreciate all y'all coming in this early in the morning and talking to me. Maybe we'll go live again at a normal hour. Anyway, I appreciate all y'all. Enjoyed the talk. And I guess I'm going to end it. So, see y'all later.